Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, and I'm the Communications Officer for the City of Sanford. Today, we have another special guest with us. His name is Joshua Snyder.
Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. And I may call you Josh, right?
Absolutely. That's perfect.
So Josh is a Community Redevelopment Agency board member here at the City of Sanford, frequently heard of or mentioned as the CRA. And Josh is here to share information about the CRA and just an overview of what types of things they fund and what it is, why they exist. And so, which is some really great projects in the city of Sanford. And I won't mention another one as well. I won't steal your thunder, so because everybody knows this project. But so welcome. You're a resident of Sanford, Josh.
I am.
You're a graduate of the City Citizens Academy. You and your wife, and so you're familiar with a lot of city-related information. And so it's great to have you on the show today. And we're going to dive right into the CRA. Again, it's the Community Redevelopment Agency. So Josh, why does the CRA exist? Like, what is that?
So the CRA, it's a common government vehicle. Lots of cities have them. CRAs are formed to address a particular area of a city where there is potentially blight. And blight is a word that I had to learn the definition of. It's basically, an older building that's empty, unoccupied, and unimproved, meaning that it's a little bit run down. And for anyone that's been through a particular area where there's a lot of buildings like that, it can really drag down the microeconomy of that area. And so CRAs are often formed to address not only blight for a particular area, but also an area that serves some sort of a functional use or is a real asset to the community. If in fact it can be improved. And so our downtown here in Sanford is a very good example of that. We've got a beautiful historic downtown with old brick buildings. One of the older communities in Central Florida. It's located right on Lake Monroe, a historic waterway connecting us all the way up through the St. Johns River to the Atlantic Ocean. So we've got tons of great assets here in our downtown. But because the buildings are old and they served many functions over the years, some of them are quite run down. Even things like the streets and the sidewalks and the lighting all have to be brought up to modern standards and improved for it to be a thriving place for business to function and for people to live and work and play. So that's why our CRA was formed. It's been around for quite some time now. I know at least over 15 years. And I joined back in 2017. I've just been really happy to be a part of it and to contribute what I can as we work on projects together to improve our beautiful downtown.
Okay, and so is there a boundary, a CRA boundary?
There is. It encompasses the lakefront, so it's basically from the lakefront all the way up through the commercial district of downtown Sanford, and it also extends up Sanford Avenue all the way to 6th. And as a matter of fact, the streetscape improvement project that the CRA undertook several years ago was one of the first things that brought my attention as a resident to the CRA and the work they were doing. And you can see that it's a thriving entertainment district with lots of restaurants and bars now. And those buildings were largely unoccupied prior to that.
Right, and that's the Sanford Avenue streetscape, and that was a game changer. I could recall when that street was pretty much, there was hardly one or two businesses there, and as soon as that streetscape came along, and that was in the millions of dollars, and it has now brought such life to Sanford in general, and new business.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Lots of my favorite spots are over there, and so I'm very pleased that the CRA takes on work like that, and it just makes Sanford a great place to live and to visit.
Yeah, it does. And so when you talk about these funding opportunities, where does the funds come from exactly for the CRA? Because it's not technically, we have your own board, and they're 5 board members?
That's correct.
And,
there's 5.
They are appointed.
That's right. 3 are appointed by the city, and 2 are appointed by Seminole County commissioners.
Okay, and so because there's a connection there with the county, obviously.
Yeah, well, Sanford is the county seat of Seminole County, and I'm sure that there's more history there and more details than I'm privy to. But the county is very much involved in the CRA. The funding for the CRA comes from taxes, specifically property taxes, as I understand it. And so the dollars have specifically been set aside to help eliminate blight and improve the living and working conditions in this particular area of the city.
Right, and the CRA certainly have gotten the job done thus far. If anybody's come down to Sanford into our downtown as well, you can clearly see the success of their work here on the CRA board. So what other, do you have a current project going on right now that has wheels on it, or it's not?
Well, we're constantly funding a number of projects, and so the way that we fund, it's probably best to start there. The majority of the funds that we put to work in the city, and specifically in the CRA, go into bricks and mortar, and those come in two buckets primarily. One bucket is development grants. So we fund 3 types of development grants. We fund new construction, redevelopment, so taking an existing building and fixing it up, and then facade grants, which is anything to the exterior of the building. For new construction and redevelopment grants, we will actually fund up to 20% of eligible costs, not to exceed $50,000. So if you have a $250,000 project of eligible costs, we would fund $50,000 of that, but we can fund up to $50,000. And then for facade grants, we'll actually cover up to 50% of eligible expenses, not to exceed $10,000. And there's tons of great projects that the CRA has already taken on and have been completed that are some of the favorite destinations for residents and people visiting Sanford. In terms of redevelopment grants, Sanford Brewing Company, Henry's Depot, and the old jailhouse come to mind. Those are 3 properties that just sat entirely vacant for decades and are now thriving businesses with really great character that took on the life of the old building that they were occupying and have something really unique to offer in each of those. And there's many others like it. And in terms of new construction, that's where you can see several projects that are ongoing. That if you come into downtown, you'll very conspicuously notice the construction. Attorney Mark Nation is taking, it's a bit of a hybrid. It's actually a redevelopment and a new construction project, opening a really nice signature restaurant on the corner of 2nd and Oak. And so it's an existing building that he's building off of, and there's a bunch of new construction associated with that, including parking, which everyone's a big fan of, as it has become more and more limited as Sanford has grown and thriving. There's also the first new residential project in several years is being constructed on the corner of Sanford Avenue and 2nd Street.
San Leon, is that?
That's right, San Leon. That's correct. Which I believe will have 13 or 14 residential units and retail on the bottom. So we're all very excited about that project as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention everyone's project that people have been talking about for years, which is Heritage Park. The CRA has set aside a large portion of our annual allotment to fund the streetscapes around Heritage Park. So it's a partnership with the city and the development company, where the city has also provided several incentives, including relocating utilities and doing some other things to improve the area for the construction of the 3-block project along the lakefront and upwards to First Avenue, or First Street rather. But the city, the CRA has set aside funds to redevelop several blocks of streetscapes. So that it is brick streets with decorative lighting, decorative poles for lighting, and decorative street signs, that it's well landscaped to be in theme with all of our other historic streets that we've redeveloped over the years. So that is a big project that the CRA has its hand in as well.
That sounds incredible. Again, come down to Sanford. You will see it for your own eyes, all that Josh is sharing with us today. So when you talk about funding, is there additional funding? Is there funding available for current?
Absolutely.
interested parties?
So anybody who is looking to do a redevelopment or a new construction project, or just looking to upgrade the facade of their building, we definitely invite you to come down, maybe not now during COVID-19, but definitely if you do, wear a mask. But come down to the City Hall and speak with our Executive Director, Sonia Fonseca, or you can give her a call. I believe her contact information, including her cell number even, is on our website. And she can let you know about all of these different funds that are available for you to apply for when it comes to development. We also have a few other types of projects we fund that I'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it a few times. I would say the second sort of brick and mortar type of project that we fund are the streetscapes. So we've done a number of them through the CRA. I believe way back in the earlier years of the CRA, First Street was redeveloped, which is our main street here in downtown. And then the project that really led me to becoming aware of the CRA and how great it was the Sanford Avenue streetscape redevelopment. And since I've been on the board, we actually developed a couple of blocks from Oak on Oak from 1st to 3rd Street, which runs right alongside that new project that Mark Nation and his team are developing. Yeah,
it sounds like it's really rewarding to serve on this board. I mean, you're seeing the rebirth of Sanford with your decisions that you're making. It's like truly incredible.
It is. It's really rewarding. It's a big responsibility because, look, these are taxpayer dollars, and we want to make sure that they're being allocated correctly and thoughtfully into projects that benefit the city, that raise the tax base and ultimately give back to the city, that increase property values, and that really just improve overall the physical and social conditions of the downtown, which is core to our mission. And so, to that end, while most of our money goes into bricks and mortar, when it really comes to the social conditions of the CRA, we look at other aspects of things that need to be addressed so that we can really stay core to our mission of eliminating blight in the area. So one of those big things is transportation. I think what's become certainly synonymous in most people's minds with the work of the CRA, in addition to our funding for bricks and mortar, is the trolley. Yeah. So again, right just prior to my tenure, one of the things that as a resident I had been wishing for some time was a really exciting way to connect folks from Sunrail and Amtrak. I was a Sunrail commuter for many years. And I had really hoped that we could have some sort of a trolley connecting Sunrail to our historic downtown, and that's exactly what the CRA funded and continues to fund. So we have a free trolley that riders can take from Sunrail all over the downtown area. We also pick up passengers from the Amtrak auto train and bring a lot of folks from out of town, or folks who are coming here as their port of call to that particular station. And while their cars are being loaded and unloaded, they hop on the trolley and they come and they visit downtown Sanford.
Right, and so there's an opportunity at some point perhaps to extend the route of the trolley. I know that information was on the website.
Yeah, so we actually received a funding from the state, I believe through the Department of Economic Opportunity, to extend our trolley services and beyond necessarily outside of the CRA to bring more people into the CRA zone. So you may in the very near future see a second trolley that's operational, running to more stops. And that's all being discussed right now and is very exciting. And one day, maybe, who knows, there'll be historic trolleys running all over Sanford.
There you go. And so we're talking about, you just mentioned earlier about the COVID-19, and of course we're in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm sitting here wearing a mask on the podcast. So the CRA did come up with a campaign to increase awareness about it's okay to come down to downtown Sanford. We have businesses here. We have businesses in the city of Sanford that are open, right? And so that campaign has been going on with TV commercials and such, right?
Mm-hmm, speak to that, right. Josh? It's the Sanfording Safely campaign. And I think, obviously there's state mandates right now that help to, curtail the spread of the pandemic, including wearing masks when you're inside. Maintaining social distancing has just become a polite way to conduct yourself in public at this point. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of folks in the greater Central Florida area Some of their only experiences in Sanford have been for the large outdoor events and the festivals that we put on down here where people are crammed in. There's a Mardi Gras type of atmosphere to the things that we do down here during those large events that everyone loves so much. But the Sanfording Safely campaign is really just a way to remind folks that we have tons of great restaurants and shops that you can come visit any day of the week, and that all of our merchants down here are taking all the necessary and required precautions to keep everybody safe. So you can come down here. We have lots of great places to walk outdoors and get some fresh air. We have our beautiful waterfront, and we have tons of great restaurants and shops where you can come, maintain social distancing, wear your mask, and stay safe as possible while enjoying downtown Sanford.
Yeah, and who wouldn't beat that? I mean, come on, that is wonderful. You hop on the Sunrail from anywhere in the Central Florida region here, and then for free, get on the trolley, Sanford Free Trolley, and then go into downtown Sanford with your mask in hand and enjoy our businesses in the area and the views and the historic architecture. Like you said, the lakefront, everything is within walking distance, or just drive up to Sanford with a friend and enjoy our great town. Is there anything else? Like I know we recently there's a Main Street program that's being Sanford Main Street
Absolutely.
that's being put together, and so you want to talk about how the
CRA
CRA
I will say that the CRA is only as successful as the relationships we can form, both with the people that we help to fund and then through other public-private partnerships that we formed. It's core to our mission. It's in our plan to seek out ways to maximize our impact by forming these relationships. And a new group of folks have gotten together and formed the Downtown Sanford Main Street program, and we've engaged in a partnership with them to help us promote this campaign. So they've put their dollars to work to help us amplify the reach of this campaign, both through TV ads and other forms of media. So, hopefully within the next few months, everybody will have had many opportunities to learn about how they can be Sanfording safely on a weekend or a weekday in the near future.
Right.
And we really thank them for their contributions to that. If you look at their mission, it's to preserve and enhance the historic charm and integrity of our community while encouraging local spending, tourism, and a sense of community, which will improve the local economy. It's very well aligned with the CRA, and so we really appreciate the partnership with Main Street and hope to be doing more things with them in the future.
That's wonderful. And I know the city of Sanford and Seminole County is also on part of that committee of the Main Street Committee. Was all together, all the agencies and the individual business owners downtown want to see it be successful, the Sanford Main Street. So thank you for that information, Josh. Is there anything else? I know marketing is important too, about CRA and what you're doing as well. And soon there'll be perhaps some more information or more sites on digital media about your Sanfording Safely campaign. So stay connected, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Follow all of Sanford's social channels through Facebook and Instagram. So just go visit us on the website. There's always new information coming up. And you want to know about what's going on in Sanford, the precautions that we're taking to make sure everyone's staying safe. There's always good information there. But yeah, stay connected to Sanford and don't forget about us. We're here and we're having a lot of fun and we're doing it safely.
Yeah, and that's sanfordfl.gov, and you can search for CRA on the city website. And so speaking about a lot of fun, the public meetings that you have, that's on Wednesdays.
Those are the best. Those are the best part. Every first Wednesday of the month, if you're interested in the CRA and the work we do, every first Wednesday of the month at 4 p.m. we meet in the City Commission chambers. Again, plenty of room for social distancing. We don't always have huge crowds, but we welcome anyone from the public to come if you want to learn more about the work of the CRA or just hear about the way that we make decisions and help to fund projects in the city. Then we welcome you to come on down and then go out and enjoy one of our beautiful shops and merchants afterwards.
That's wonderful. Any last words, Josh?
No, Lisa, I've really enjoyed being down here and talking about the Sanford CRA, and I hope that everyone will come down to Sanford and enjoy Sanfording safely. There
you are. And there you have it. Josh Snyder, the CRA, one of our CRA board members, Community Redevelopment Agency board members, on the show on Sanford Says. Thank you for listening. This is Lisa Holder, Communications Officer, and you can find this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So we'll see you next time, and thanks again for listening, and be well and stay safe out there.